One of the most common areas that people have concern over is their sleep. Now, the message is out there loud and clear. If you're not sleeping well, you're gonna have trouble with your health. And it's everything from blood pressure problems to brain fog and mood issues. So here's where I start. I always ask people, is it trouble falling asleep or trouble waking up in the middle of the night? Now, you've probably answered that question for yourself, but survey says trouble waking up in the middle of the night. And that's the number one perceived problem with sleep. So let me help you understand. The waking up is not the actual problem. Our physiology, the way our brain works, is everyone has periods of relative wakefulness as they sleep. That's normal. The problem is coming all the way to consciousness, and then what happens next. So when I ask people, when you wake up, what's the first thing that you do? The vast majority of people tell me, check the clock. Well, that is an easy behavior change right there. You don't need to know what time it is. Don't look at the clock. Now I ask people, what's the second thing you do? And the second thing is people go, dang it, I'm awake again. And so that emotional reaction is not conducive to going back to sleep. So I simply teach people 2 steps. Just change these 2 things before you do anything else. Number 1, don't look at the clock. Number 2, push back on that reaction. You don't have to react. You don't have to be upset or disappointed. And again, that's not gonna get you back to sleep. So don't even open your eyes. Simply be aware that you're awake. Begin to tell yourself any kind of fantasy story that you want and focus on that, especially if it's from any dream that you've had that you can remember. Remember, you had the dream when you were asleep. So re-enter that dream and that imagination, focus on that, and with practice, with a few nights of practicing this, you'll start getting back to sleep faster. The number one problem that people have who are trying to go to sleep and they can't get there, I said number 1, there's 2. Screens. So we're watching television, we have television in our room, we're on an iPad, we're on an iPhone, we're on some kind of screen that's blasting light into our eyes. That's not any way for a human being to try to go to sleep. So get off your screens, put them away. If you want to watch some television in the evening, that's fine, but separate that from your actual attempt to sleep. And the second thing is racing mind. I call this monkey mind, right? And don't worry, 100% of humans have it. I guarantee you the Dalai Lama deals with monkey mind. My suggestion for this is to ask you a question. Is thinking about and planning to do something a sleep activity? Now, I'm sure that just a few moments of reflection, you'll understand that that's not something that I need to be doing to try to go to sleep. So if you'll sit in a chair, take a few deep breaths, and reflect on your day, you can start the monkey mind up, which is fine if you're not trying to go to sleep. And now just start a dump. I call it a dump journal. Spend 10 or 15 minutes with your dump journal, put it all down. Whatever comes to mind, put it down. That's your subconscious self communicating with your conscious self what's important. Once you've done your dump journal, now you're ready to get to bed. When that starts up, simply remind yourself that you've already done that activity. This is not the time for that, and resume other type sleep behaviors. I find the most compelling sleep activities to be the ones that take your mind off of the stresses and pressures of your day, and the ones that focus on your own comfort, interest, fantasy, things like that. Not plans, but truthfully, fictional accounts that you relate to. I'll tell you one of the ones that I personally love. In my mind, I go deep sea diving with orcas. Now, that's really crazy. And I've never done it. And I can't even swim. So I would never be in that environment. Except for some reason, it is so relaxing for me to be scuba diving with a pod of orcas. I can begin imagining that in my mind, and I'm out. I can't even get far enough in the fantasy to enjoy it anymore because I go to sleep so fast. So pick yours, whatever that is for you, and whatever you know relaxes you, and whatever you know brings you that internal peace and pleasure, that's what you focus on. And if you'll focus on that and resist the monkey mind running around, you will fall asleep faster than you ever have. Thanks a lot for watching. One of the things I love is to hear from you. And I learn a lot that way as well. And if you're thinking it, someone else is too. So please leave a comment and I'll answer it, and you can help me help others.